Under Sodergren, staging a jailbreak here, Al, on this last big hill of their leg. They're in yellow now. The next group will be wearing blue bibs. Everybody in the relay has a different colored bib. Pillar-Cotrere putting the hammer down.
Think of the odds against you having an opportunity like this. That during your prime years, you're a cross-country skier. And then during those prime years, the Olympics come to your country. Infinitesimal. And that's the opportunity for these four Italian men to come together as a team and possibly achieve Italian Olympic immortality.
Pietro Pillar-Cotrere from Zapata over on the other side, the northeastern corner of Italy, in the Südtirol below the Austrian border.
Anders Sodergren of Sweden looked fried at the peak of that climb, Paul.
Yeah, he buried him. Like Pillar-Cotrere just looked at this and said, I'm making my move here. I've only got a kilometer to go. 1,000 meters, and now he's inside 800 meters, heading back to the stadium.
And what you're wondering right here is that Frode Estel, right there to the right, did something so unique that he wound up on Jay Leno's Tonight Show. And you wonder whether he fried himself in trying to come from last and win the silver last Sunday.
Boy, he is dead on this hill, Al. The gap grows between the top guys. However, in a relay, it's like an NBA game. It all comes down to the fourth quarter. Who is running anchor for each of these nations, and does he have the gas to keep it going? Pillar-Cotrere, every stride.
Look, in the last two Olympics, it came down to a sprint, and Christian Zorzi was there for Italy. He's the one who knows what it's like to lose a gold medal by tenths of a second. And he's the only one I know of in the field that has a nickname, and it's a good one. Zorro waits for Italy.
Does he have the touch? Can Zorzi come through in the clutch in his homeland? Pillar-Cotrere just piling on here with the rest of the... Yep, Sweden staying with him, and then it's an empty screen. Pillar-Cotrere looking like he's just starting this leg, Al.
Before this leg began, you could have said, Pietro, what is your dream? My dream would be to give the lead for Italy on the last leg. He's living it right now.
And that's turned into a nightmare for Norway.
Sweden's got Mattias Fredriksson to anchor their team.
That'll be a good duel. Mattias is a solid skater. Christian Zorzi, a sprinter early in his career. Silver medalist the first time they had it at the World Championships in 2001.
Forza Italia being screamed at the exchange for the fourth and final leg for gold, silver, and bronze in the men's 4x10. And maybe it's time for a new rivalry to be born.
Sweden's Matti Fredriksson. Mattias Fredriksson goes out. Look at this, Zorzi already putting time on Sweden. But you got to save something for the hills, Christian.
He's got a 5-second lead.
Norway trying desperately to get back in here. Estel coming in, he will tag Torrud Hofstad, the youngest member of the Norwegian team. 3 guys over 30, and Hofstad is 26.
That last climb ripped this race apart. And finally, Norway is away, 43 seconds behind. Torrud Hofstad skiing the anchor leg, the most prestigious leg for Norway. They won back-to-back Olympic gold medals in this race. How good is this skier?
Yeah, he's a good skier, but out of 43 seconds, give me a break. He's going to have to skip a loop in here or something. These Olympics have been absolutely brutal for Norway. They still don't have a gold medal here. They're trying to figure out, how do we get regrouped on this thing? We got a second week of racing here, and we got to find the touch again.
So Norway has a skier skiing alone. Never a good idea. But so does Italy. And it's a good idea if you're going to do it in front. Zorro, Christian Zorzi skis for Italy. Could it possibly be the home nation wins gold in the biggest race there is in cross country? Pietro Pillar-Cotrere already has a bronze medal. I wonder which he enjoyed more, winning that or feeling this. The adoration of his country here in Mile High Stadium, Stadio Alto Emilio. We're in the last leg of the men's 4x10 cross-country relay.
Chevrolet, America's brand, supports America's best. From the slopes to the rink, we're sure they'll leave us with chills. Chevy, an American revolution.
You know, John, what's better than a come-from-behind win?
Yeah, like Super Bowl 23. Joe Montana goes back, hits Jerry Rice. Boom, he throws a touchdown to John Taylor in the end zone, and the 49ers beat the Bengals. Woo!
Yeah, I remember it. I was on the Bengals sideline on that team that year.
But it was a good game, though. What?
This fall, football's biggest night will be Sunday night with Madden, Michaels, Costas, and Collinsworth. Only on NBC.
Yeah, see you at the bottom, Steve.
I fell into a crevasse by the ridge.
On my way.
Is that a sandwich?
Sandwich. It's my Nextel walkie-talkie phone with GPS.
It's not a sandwich.
Buy a Nextel walkie-talkie phone, get one free. Nextel from Sprint.
It's President's Month. And did you know that Chevy outsold everybody last year?
They made a believer out of me.
Just give us 27 months.
And you'll be a believer too.
The Chevy 27-month lease.
The comfortable,
Smart way to get into a new Chevrolet. Qualified lessees get a 27-month low-mileage lease on an 06 Trailblazer LS 4-wheel drive for around $289 a month. Residency restrictions apply. Call for details.
It's President's Month.
Just give us 27 months. Elect to visit ChevyOffers.com.
At UBS, we offer our clients serious financial resources. Over 100 years of experience. The expertise of the world's largest wealth management firm. And, of course, the most serious resource of all. A relationship with an advisor who actually understands you. Wealth management at UBS. From wealth preservation to lending and investment. You and us. UBS.
In the biggest home game of his life, Christian Zorzi, skiing the anchor leg in the men's 4x10 relay, has the lead. The chase from Sweden and Germany.
Matthias Fredriksson of Sweden, number 7, the 2003 World Cup champion. Number 2, Tobias Angerer from Germany. He is the current World Cup leader.
Well, look at that. They know how far up the hill they have to get to where Christian Zorzi just was. So they know what the deficit is, and they know they're not making any progress on Zorro.
And he didn't even look over at him. He is piling it on. Look at this.
They didn't give him much of a look. It's almost like they expected to see him.
He totally dismissed them. He just said, boys, keep it going. I'm going to keep piling on the lead here. Look at that. Pull them. Here they come in the distance, but they're not even close. He came in with a 6-second lead out, and he's built up. He's got to be closing in on half a minute at this point. That is incredible. Angerer reaching up to Fredriksson saying, hey, watch where you put that pole plant.
First ski race I ever did, Paul, was in the Dolomites, near where Zorzi comes from.
Yep.
And those mountains have such a unique color to them. I said to this Italian skier, I said, you know, they look a little bit like sand. He said, no, they're gold. And I bet Zorzi has given that a thought growing up as well.
That's absolutely stunning mountain range over the Dolomites. That's the northeastern section of Italy. We are in the northwestern section of Italy, over near the French border.
Those skiers in the background are not part of this silver-bronze chase. They're on a different part of the course. Hopefully for them, they're on the same lap.
Boy, and look at Zorzi. He's not even in the picture. He is so far ahead of these guys. Now Angerer gets up front and starts to pull for a little bit. Fredriksson stays with him. Not going to let him make a breakaway.
This is the best race at this point.
They're not challenging Zorzi at all out at this point. Apparently, they have given up the gold, and they want to hold on to silver and bronze. They're playing it safe here.
Now, before returning to the stadium, there is this flat area. It's tough to make up big time here. There is one last big climb, and I guess it's Christian Zorzi's mountain. You know, he's the sprinter guy. He's able to glide with his body on these flat areas with ease. We've seen that because it doesn't even look like he's trying, and he's increasing his lead. So it was the power of Pillar-Cotrere and the grace and style and speed of Zorzi so far to this point.
Pillar-Cotrere making an early move in the third leg. Wanted to come in at this point with Italy in the lead. hands Zorzi the lead, and Zorzi has, look at him, they're not even in the picture here, Al. This is how much of a lead he's built from a 5-second lead.
So that's Unger, the world's #1 cross-country skier from Germany in the red cap, and a former World Cup champion from Sweden. The white clock ticking lower right-hand part of your screen is their deficit.
This is incredible, Al. He's tripled the lead. He's quadrupled his lead. He's going to have a half-minute lead by the time they get to the checkpoint. And he's not even racing hard.
Paul, you were right. It is a half a minute and growing. Surprisingly, Norway has fallen into the abyss of this race. And surprisingly, it was one of the most inspirational athletes of these games so far. Frode Estel, last place to a silver medal last Sunday. Today, when it really got tough in the mountains, he absolutely collapsed.
He just didn't have it in the skating leg. And ironically, a week ago, he came back in the skating leg. The back half of the pursuit, which has 2 legs of classic and then 2 legs of skating. And he had a great race to the silver. But he didn't have it today. Frode Estel and Norway dropped out of the picture, fell off the back of the truck, got dropped.
And this is 33-year-old Christian Zorzi of the Italian team, skiing the anchor leg of this men's 4x10 relay. He's going to come to the stadium one more time and then get a boost from all his countrymen to go out there and clinch this gold medal.
From Val di Fiemme, Italy, they hosted the World Championships in 2003, 1991. Great skiing tradition over there. There's Germany pulling. Sweden pulled for so long. Germany took the lead a little while ago. They're just working their way back and forth, saving their energy until they get to the final sprints.
Look at it. How tantalizing is that for those two to be able to see Christian Zorzi as they enter the stadium. But the distance between them and him is 30 seconds.
That's just a tease. There's nothing they can do about it.
These athletes are so amazingly conditioned, but the one thing you can't predict is if your body is going to pop at some reason for something you can't predict.
Yep, marathoners hit the wall, triathletes hit the wall. And these guys suddenly could just lose it. All of a sudden, the gas goes out of the tank, and they're just sitting there idling.
They ring the bell.
Such a casual pace, Al. You know, you almost get lulled into it. You think, well, I could probably catch him. Look at him. He's not going too hard.
And by the way, he has fully embraced this whole Zorro thing. So much so that after he won a sprinting bronze medal at Salt Lake, his debut Olympics, he put on a cape, a black cape, and a mask. Bottom line, he's getting it done. The Italian lead is growing. The man behind the mask. At home, he is Christian. Here, he is Zorro. He is known to be daring, strong. What Italy needs now is for him to leave his mark.
So the papers came through. I'm officially in charge of my own investments. I want to get some help, but I want someone I can work with. Someone to listen to my ideas, not just make all the decisions for me. That'll be a change after Larry.
Yeah, you wrote to me. I'm gonna be wide open.
The world of light beer.
Woo! Yeah! You were open and now you are closed.
Just got a little darker. Introducing new Michelob Ultra Amber. With its deep amber color and full flavored taste, it's a new look of light beer.
No free pass, baby. Ooh, late hit.
Hey, baby.
Introducing the Mazda 5. The lowest priced, highest EPA fuel economy rated 6-passenger vehicle for under $20,000. Mazda 5. It's right where everything else isn't.
let me apologize again for my coworkers. Working around here can be very challenging. I think I told you before that I work with a bunch of monkeys. Nice one, guys.
I totally understand. I actually work with a bunch of jackasses. No thanks, guys. I don't really feel like drinking at lunch.
Want a new job? We've got the most. CareerBuilder.com. A better job awaits.
Visa salutes America's Olympic athletes. Because no matter what it takes to live your dreams, life takes Visa.
Visa asks, what does it take to be an Olympic athlete? Rising star Julia Mancuso shows that it takes saving your best for the biggest moments. At last year's World Championships in Bormio, Italy, she broke through with a pair of bronze medals. And then she charmed the Italian fans with her cool composure and homeland heritage. Traits and results she hopes to share again in Torino. Support the Visa Dollar for the Dream program. Log on to NBCOlympics.com/journey and help America's Olympic hopefuls.
You are looking at an Italian man at the age of 33 skiing in his home country with the gold medal just a few clicks ahead at the finish line. Now an energy goes into the battle for silver and bronze between Matthias Fredriksson of Sweden and Tobias Angerer of Germany. Angerer coming in as the #1 ranked cross-country skier in the world. Italian flags waving to get Christian Zorzi to the top of this last climb for a triumphant glide home to gold.
Bring him through this climb where Pietro Pillicotre fractured the field. What a feeling this has to be. You can only imagine the emotions going through him at this point. Zorzi's got to be thinking, holy cow, we're going to pull it off. He's heading into he's hit the high point of land. Now he's going to head into the hairpin.
And this is the low point for Norway today. This is going to be remembered as the signal to rebuild for the Norwegians. They're going to get a shutout of the medals again, and they're not even going to be part of the mix at all.
And the women's relay didn't get a medal either. Marit Bjorgen, as we saw yesterday, the #1 in the world for the women, had the 9th fastest anchor leg, and Norway was not on the podium.
Well, the smiles begin. They know what's happening, and in the stadium, they get their first look at Christian Zorzi coming down the mountain.
Tobias Angerer looking over his right shoulder to make sure nobody was gaining. He didn't want to be pulling at this point. Conserve his energy. Follow Fredriksson down the hill. And then when they get into the stadium, he's going to have a little bit more gas, perhaps.
So these two are definitely set for a sprint to the line for the honor of silver and bronze.
Germany has never won an Olympic relay, but they got their first medal in 2002 in Salt Lake City. 1988 in Calgary, out on the trails in Canmore. Sweden won the men's relay.
All right, the dynamics of the stadium now are unbelievable. There are no Norwegian flags waving. They all look stunned, but at the far end of the stadium, it's an absolute party. One Olympic medalist, Pietro Pillicotre, set the stage with a dynamic climb in the third leg, and Christian Zorzi took the baton and roared with it. Sweden in second right there. The power of Germany right on his back. And they can see Christian Zorzi now in the stadium. And they'll have a good battle to root for silver and bronze.
Have another photo finish in there unless either one of them can really put on a move.
Think for a moment what this could mean from a country where the passion does live in these small valleys. And now even the Norwegian flags are waving. They know a great cross-country champion when they see one. And they're bringing home 33-year-old Christian Zorzi on a snowy, fog-filled day as he stops to let it all soak in and grab the flag of Italy and claim the gold medal in the greatest cross-country race that Italy's ever skied in their homeland.
He looks around behind him and he says, okay, it's going to be Germany and Sweden for the silver and the bronze. Zorzi says, quiet. Hams it up at the finish line and brings it across. Gold for Italy, Who's going to get the silver?
Ungerer in front of Fredriksson.
Ungerer in the red hat, Fredriksson in white. Germany's got the silver, Al.
And Christian Zorzi, who so often is given credit for raising the morale of the Italians, has done the amazing today. Their morale couldn't be any higher.
They're not going to let him fall down. Of course, he couldn't have gotten too tired in that leg. He just skied under control and brought it home, number one.
So the Forza Azzurri win the gold medal. Germany the silver. Sweden the bronze. Oh, is there going to be a party in Torino tonight?
Forza Azzurri, the name for the Italian, the Blue Force. Oh, look at this, Al.
Norway is going to finish over a minute behind the party in 5th place. Wow. They might need a little morale boost.
Nice touch picking up that flag coming into the finish. Pietro Pillicotre in a yellow hat. He gave it to him, and Zorzi brought it home.
All 4 legs were exactly perfect. Fulvio Valbusa, he stayed stride for stride with Jens Arne Svartedal. Then Giorgio Gicenta, whose family knows a thing or two about winning in the Olympics, stayed with Arbjorn Helmeset. And then it was Pietro Pillicotre with the biggest move of the race. And he handed the lead to Christian Zorzi, and he knew what to do with it. So Germany takes a step up from bronze. Sweden's back on the map. Your thoughts, Paul?
An incredible surprise, Al. I think that everybody is going to like this. Italy gets the gold in relay. They get the gold in emotion. And I think across the sport, across country, a terrific victory.
Meanwhile, a scrutinized Austrian team gets slapped and does not finish. Let's go to Dwight Stones with the winners of the Medaglia d'Oro.
Christian, you got to be the anchor 2 times for Italy. This time you got to ski very slowly in front of the crowd. Talk about the feeling being here in the mountains in front of this crowd.
In English, but I was in a difficult moment yesterday because the first race today after 3 weeks for training in my home. But now I'm very happy because it's incredible for me. After 4 years with bad years after Salt Lake City, but nothing. I'm very happy.
Pietro, you really made a difference with this 3rd leg, going up the mountain. Was this your strategy to break the rest of the race for Italy in the 3rd leg, going up the final hill?
Yeah, that was my meaning, my hopeful. And the most of my 3rd leg relays was to recover, to catch the other. But yesterday I told to some TV that I want to go in front and give one time in my life have this possibility to Christian as much second as I can. And that's happened, and then Christian was able to do the rest.
Talk about what this is like to win this in front of your home fans, in your home country, with the Olympics in your own country.
At the moment, we are not able to understand this feeling because we want now to go down in the stadium and have possibility to stay with all the fans. Over there, we can understand what we do.
A big party tonight for Italy, huh?
Yeah, long night. Last night there was in Torino a white night, but we are looking for a white night once again.
Congratulations.
It's called a Notte Bianca, a white night, an Italian tradition, a scheduled celebration. Well, last night was on the schedule and tonight was not, but now it is. The defining move of this race came in the 3rd leg, when Pietro Pillicotre set a pace on the climb that no one could keep up with. He's got a gold medal now to go with his bronze. And then he said, Christian Zorzi, bring it on home. And the sprinter did, not needing his sprinter's legs at all. It was a nice casual pace to the finish line to confirm a 15.7-second win. He said, shh. But this playful guy actually meant, scream it to the world. The Italians are the kings of cross country. So now the names Valbusa, Gicenta, Pillicotre, and Zorzi go down in Italian Olympic lore, never to be forgotten.
All right, Al, so Italy gets the win on its home snow. They do it in convincing fashion, which is a bit of a surprise. Not the dramatic finish of the previous 3 Olympic races, but that doesn't stop the joyous celebration in Pregelato. As you can see from the post-race flower ceremony, the official medal ceremony takes place later. Al Trautwig talked quite a bit about the guy who skied the anchor leg, Christian Zorzi, the 33-year-old, nicknamed Zorro, not just because his last name starts with a Z, but because he donned a mask and a cape after an individual bronze at the Salt Lake Games in 2002. So the country knows him as Zorro. Only his closest friends can refer to him as Don Diego. And here they are, kissing the podium, celebrating. You don't have to be told, looking at this scene, this isn't just any Olympic gold, as if there were such a thing. Any one is significant, but this is close to over the top in Italy. The rivalry, even though the Norwegians were not that much in the mix this time, how close and dramatic the previous 3 Olympic races were in this event, the history of this event in Italy, the fact that all 4 of these guys are close to household names in this country, not names that pop up only every 4 years at the Winter Olympics. This is bigger than big in their home country. And we'll have the full medal ceremony for the Italians a bit later on. But first, one postscript from today's race. Al and Paul mentioned that the Austrian cross-country team was the target of a surprise raid by anti-doping officials early this morning. Officials had been tipped off to the presence of former coach Walter Meyer, who had been banned from the team due to a previous doping violation. Meyer, who had left Torino just before the raid, was found today by police while napping in his car over the border in Austria. Meyer then fled the scene, but ultimately crashed into an empty police car set up as a roadblock. He's now, as you might guess, in custody. So a bizarre development in cross-country skiing to cap this day.